are going to do a little bit of a TV show, location shot here. It may be 5 minutes, it may be an hour and 5 minutes. Whatever it is, we are going to have the choice of showing you part of it on a upcoming Humanity Matters, or we may show you this in its entirety. Could you please pronounce that word better? Entirety. Would you please speak out?
Entirety.
They can't hear you.
Entirety.
All right, I hope you heard her. Entirety. Any rate, now I had to look at I had to look at my watch. Okay, that was a bacahoing, but what are you going to do? It's a blooper. Congress, September the 9th, 2009. President Obama laid out his vision of healthcare reform. Now, to my Pittsburgh audiences, and those of you who may watch me throughout the world in America, you have heard me in previous shows say we have spent more money to kill people than we have ever spent to heal people. Those of you who watched the president's speech yesterday, September the 9th, 2009, you will recall during the speech, he essentially verified what I said by saying that we have spent more money on the Afghan and Iraq wars than we have on the projected healthcare reform bill. So let us, once again, remember these figures. The bill proposed in Congress would be $1 trillion or less for health care in America, for all Americans. The cost of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars is $3 trillion. So that is not $1 billion more. That is not $2 billion more. That is not $1 trillion more. It is more than $2 trillion more to kill people in a war than it would be to insure most, if not all, Americans. Now, the bottom line is, if you haven't quite decided to support this plan and you're still on the fence, you need to hear from Donna Weis. Because Donna Weis is about to tell you a shocking fact. Donna Weis has absolutely no idea what this fact is. But she's going to be asked the question, and when she provides the answer, it indeed out to shock you. For those of you who are already aware of this, you will be shaking your heads in agreement. But those same people that will be shaking their heads in agreement, still you worry about the cost of this healthcare plan. But before we ask Donna the question, I must ask you, why are you so concerned about future debt in the United States with regards to healthcare, but you did not have these concerns and you did not voice these opinions and outrage when it came to the Iraq and Afghanistan war? $3 trillion projected cost. $3 trillion. Or to put it in retrospect, it would essentially be like putting out dollar bills throughout most of the city of Pittsburgh and still having room to put more money. $3 trillion. Where is the outrage in America over that? It appears that throughout the history of the United States, whenever we were in wars to kill people, it became a so-called patriotic thing to support the wars. So it's patriotic to support killing. It's unpatriotic to support healing. Well, I don't know about any other Pittsburgher, any other Steeler fan, Pirates, Penguins fan, Pitt University fan, Carnegie Mellon University fan, or anybody else. But logic tells me, Albert Torcaso, logic tells Albert Torcaso that humanity really does matter. and that we should be putting out $1 trillion to heal people and stopping the flow of money to kill people. Or that means that Americans is a violent and uncaring nation. And I just don't buy that. I believe you do care. So, without further ado, the shocking question for the one and only Donna Weis. Donna. I understand that in the past, and you're going to speak up because we got wind,
I know,
we got music, we got a lot of stuff going on here. But in the past, your mother had some co-pays.
Yes, she did.
Now I want you to look directly at the audience.
Yes, she had a lot of co-payments.
And I would like you to tell me, were those co-pays $1 or $2?
I wish. No, they weren't $1 or $2.
How much were those co-pays, Donna Weis?
Between $25 to $45, $50.
Hold on. Did you just say $25 to $40 to $50?
Yes, I did.
Now, is that one total or is that per medicine?
That was per medicine, and she was on 9 different medications at the time.
So give me an idea, ballpark figure of at sometimes how much it would cost to give your mother the medicines that she needed.
Between $200 and $250, $300 a month on medication. It's like, do I pay the bills? Do I get her medication? So I'd pay half of the bills and half on her medication, and sometimes she went 3-4 months without her medication.
3-4 months without life-sustaining and needed medication.
Correct.
And it's not because you didn't care about Mom, was it?
Oh, hell no.
But what was the reason then?
We didn't have the money because the insurance wanted their co-payments.
Hold the phone. So you're telling me that your mother went without medicine, not because the medicine wasn't covered, but because the needed co-pays and the required co-pays cost almost $300.
Correct. Yes.
So America, there you have it. Almost $300 for co-pays. Your fellow Americans, your mothers, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your uncles, your nieces, your nephews might have their medicines covered, but don't have the money to get it. So does that mean that maybe there's sick people in America? You bet it does. Does that mean that maybe some people who need life-sustaining medicines can't afford it because they just don't have the money? Would they possibly die? Well, the answer is yes. So, if we believe that this is a nation that is great, strong, in the land of the free and the brave, then we must enact a health care reform bill. So Congress, pass the bill. What do you want Congress to do?
Pass the bill.
What?
Pass the bill.
What?
Pass the bill.
Pass the bill. If we can have champion football teams in Pittsburgh, we can have a champion hockey team in Pittsburgh,